So I guess I was this average kid from this average family in average England. There was nothing special, there was no silver spoon, nothing exciting about my childhood. My parents got divorced when I was 7 or 8 years old, and that impacted on me quite dramatically. But one thing for sure that never changed, and that was the amount of love that came from my family. Both my parents were really fantastic at that. And after seeing what had happened to my father's business, and him losing everything and having to start all over again and build again from the bottom, I think there were some lessons that I took from that, and it gave me the determination to succeed, and if you worked hard, it would help you get there. I went to school and I was absolutely awful at school. I couldn't wait to leave school. It was something I was so excited to do, and I remember leaving school going, God, come on, I'm out doing something else. And the only thing I wanted to be was a ski instructor. And that's what I did. So I went to become a ski instructor, took my exams and taught people to ski. But my mother wasn't very happy about that, and she decided that times needed to change quickly and I needed to pursue a professional career. And I remember the day that she said to me, you get a job interview and you're going to give it your best. And I was like, I don't even know what a salesperson does. I'm just thinking, no. How awful that must be. But do you know what? It was the best thing that happened to me, and I thank her eternally for making sure that I went through with it. So I went on the train up to London to this job interview, and I met these two guys. I sat there and they asked me some questions about my background and my history. I was only young. And then one of them said, right, sell me this pencil. I was like, sell you the pencil? I'll never forget it. I'll never ever forget that moment. And I don't know what happened exactly, but I made them laugh and engaged with them, built some rapport with them. And in that moment, they then offered me the job on the spot. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe my luck. I don't even know what kind of job I'd been given, but I knew I was a trainee salesperson. So that job started, had some training, and my life for the next 18 months was to make 100 door knocks every morning and 100 cold calls every afternoon. Religiously, whether I liked it or not, that's what I had to do. And it was one of the most incredible experiences of my life, because I can tell you for sure that I hated lots of it, but it taught me so many things, and more importantly, it taught me how to sell. The two guys that I worked for, David Schillingus and Eric Pomfret, were so supportive, really fantastic guys. A couple of years later, I went for a job interview and a chance to go and live and work overseas as an expatriate selling financial advice. And I got the job, and I was sent across to Bangkok in Thailand as my first overseas posting. I was just so excited to go, this big new adventure. And I remember walking around the streets of Bangkok that weekend trying to learn my bearings. And all I'm thinking as I'm walking is, what on earth am I doing here? Why on earth have I done this? And I remember I went back to my hotel room, I sat on the end of the bed and I just sobbed. I cried and cried and cried. I didn't know what I'd done. I was young, I was 23 years old. I phoned my mum and I'm like, Mum, I want to come home, I've made a mistake. And she's like, no, you're not coming home. You've made a commitment, the company have offered you a job, you're going to spend the next 3 months giving it your very, very best. You work as hard as you can and you stay committed. If it doesn't work after 3 months, then you can come back, but you're not coming back before then. And that was the best piece of advice I ever got. So I start this new job in Bangkok. My boss says to me, you're 23 years old, people aren't going to trust you with their life savings. You're going to have to stand out, you're going to have to be different, and the only way you're going to be different is by being really smart and knowing your subject. So he brought me every single book that was out there available to learn about wealth management, financial markets and financial services. So for 3 months I studied and studied and studied, you know. I wasn't a fan of studying, but this time there was a purpose, there was a reason. It was going to help accelerate my career, and that's exactly what it did. So then over the years, my career became more and more successful. I was one of the most successful wealth managers in the international arena, noted for that. I was one of the top people in the game at it. However, what came with success was the price, and that price was I started to become arrogant. I started to think that I was above other people, and that really was an ugly characteristic. And then all of a sudden, one day, I came down to earth with an almighty bang, when the guy that I'd helped build a company with, my CEO, decided that I wasn't the guy to carry the business forward with him anymore. And I'd been there for now 16 years. It was a very, very dark day. And then not only did that happen, but I'd been told the following day that my back was broken, I needed spinal surgery. And I was also told that very same day by my partner, believe it or not, that our relationship was going to end. So I had 3 massive blows that came to me all within a couple of days and really impacted me and sent me to a very dark place. So dark was it that I wasn't entirely sure whether I wanted to continue living. I'd pretty much had enough of the world. I hadn't identified that what had happened was responsible, what I was responsible for. But it definitely knocked the wind out of my sails and sent me to a very dark place for a very long time, and that's something that I'm sure some people can identify with. But, and this is a big but, I have been very fortunate to have a very loving family, and it's your family that pulls you through at times like this. Close friends and family help bring you out of that dark place and give you hope and make you realise that there's lots to live for. My kids kept me grounded. My now wife Anna, my friends Danielle and Sarah were very, very helpful, very supportive and there for me all the way through it. And when you look at that and you realise that you've got such a great bunch of people around you, it gives you a reason to refocus and lifts your spirits and gets you back facing the right direction and looking forward to your future. That experience though gave me a new awakening, a new beginning, a fresh start, and it made me really kind of identify and address what it was that I really wanted to do. And I knew deep down what I really wanted to do was help people. I wanted to help people grow and have better lives and become more successful. I knew I had the skills, I knew I had the experience, and I knew I could make a difference. And that's really where Make It Happen was born from. It was born from this desire to want to get people out of their armchairs, up on their feet, focused on their careers, improve their performance, and really have a better, more enjoyable, more fulfilling life. It's quite simple. If you want to have the life that you dream about, you've got to change your story. Remove the excuses, because if you change your story, you'll change your outcome and you'll have a better life.